sweet little baby boy in his manger, dear. Can't you see what he had to go through to come into this world and be here?
Standing on the property of New Community Church, and they bought this property years ago, but they've been working on this barn ever since to meet in on Sunday mornings. Who would have thought of that? Meeting in a barn on Sunday mornings, but why not? The one they celebrate every Sunday morning in here, Jesus himself was actually born in, you got it, a barn. This place has been remodeled though. I want to show you what it looks like in here. They've done a fantastic job. Check this place out. I love the feel of this place. Still looks like a barn, but you know what? It's pretty clean, right? As you could imagine, if people meeting here every week. And sometimes I think we clean Christmas up a little bit more than it actually was. Sometimes in our mind, I think that we see this white collar Christmas when it was actually probably a little more blue collar than we like to think about. Truth is, this place hasn't seen animals probably for many, many years. And sometimes we hear a story so many times that it goes in one and out the other, we don't even think about it. But when we tend to think that Jesus was born in a barn, I think we think of a place like this. You know, when they say, were you born in a barn? Well, Jesus could actually say, yes, he was, right? And we think of a place like this as nice and clean, but truth is, I think that the first Christmas looked more like this. To me, this is the amazing part of Christmas. Holiness in manure. God becoming man. The divine in the midst of mud and dirt. And sometimes, I don't think the donkey was expecting company or they would have cleaned up. And even if they do clean up, you know, it's a barn. It might have even been a cave of some sort, or a cutout in some rock somewhere that it's where the animals hung out. I don't think they had a whole lot of protection. It was probably pretty cold at night. But it's pretty amazing to me that God at one minute is in the cleanest, most powerful place in the world. He's with God the Father at the right hand, and the very next minute he's in a body, and he's never been in a body his whole life. He was spirit. He could go wherever he wanted to go, whenever. And then for 9 months he's inside this teenage girl. And then he comes out, the mess of birth, and they have to put him in a feeding trough. And we call it a manger, and I think sometimes we see the cute little mangers with clean hay, but I think they did the best they could. What do they clean the manger out with? Grab some hay and try to clean it out and try to they did the best they could with what they had. But the fact that Jesus would come and live among us, the reason why most of the world, except for a few wise men and shepherds, missed him, because they were expecting something completely different. They weren't expecting a stable, they were expecting a castle. They weren't expecting a baby, they were expecting a conqueror, a king, a warrior. Jesus always tends to do that. He always tends to zig when we zag. He said in Isaiah 55 that our thoughts aren't like his thoughts and our ways aren't like his ways. And sometimes to see Jesus, we just have to ask him to help us see things a little bit differently. Divinity in the midst of the mud, and holiness in the midst of manure. Wow. What more can you say?